Coming up next, finally is here, the live Masque Milano event, the worldwide launch of their newest fragrance. I'm going to show you some clips from the live performance and then talk about the fragrance. I'm so excited. It's coming up next. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Joel the Nose, guys. I'm so excited. It's finally here. It's Saturday. It's April 3rd. And for those of you who've watched my channel, you know a few weeks ago I did a video talking about this day because this is probably the highlight of my fragrance journey. I got to say, after all these years of loving fragrances, to be invited to this special worldwide private launch from the owners of Masque Milano, and they were so kind and gracious to send me an invite for one of only 100 people around the world, and to this worldwide exclusive launch. People from all around the world are part of this. We did a Google meetup where there were, I don't know, roughly 100 people on, including the perfumer, Mackenzie Reilly, who works at IFF. She is a rising star, already a star, but she is, wow, just hearing her talk now, hearing her talk about how she came up with the fragrance, this beautiful gourmand fragrance. And I guess without further ado, let me tell you what the new fragrance is. It is based on the Alice in Wonderland series, and Alessandro Bruno, the founder and creative director for Masque Milano, was talking about how he was so inspired by these different movies and the books over the years, and whether it's the Tim Burton version of the movie, which is so psychedelic, to just everything. And so they wanted to create a fragrance that evoked this, and it's part of this new opera series that has 16 fragrances in it from Masque Milano. And so this fragrance has been in development for almost 2 years. They chose Mackenzie Reilly. Again, after meeting her, they went back and forth to Grasse, France. They've met in Italy, in New York, where she's based out of with IFF. She is an American perfumer, which is really cool. Anyways, they went through in this video today, in this live launch event, the process of creating this beautiful gourmand fragrance. And just to kind of describe it for you a little bit, and then I'll tell you the name at the end. I'll get a little build up here. There was kind of 4 main accords that she talked about today. And one was what they called Flower 2. And I'll just show you what it is. And this is the little vial that it came in. So we had this package sent to us a couple weeks ago that said, "Smell Me Kit." And it was wrapped up, and we were under the honor code to not open it up prior to today's event. And I can assure you, I did not open up or smell anything prior to today's event because I wanted to obviously honor their wishes and be surprised. So the first thing they had to smell was this Flower 2, which was this orris butter accord, and she described it in terms of food and almost like a foodie and a chef. And she described how she's really into the culinary scene in New York and mixology, and how everyone is creative with creating drinks and foods and elevating common foods into high art. Really amazing descriptions how she talked about everything. And so this orris butter, let me tell you, it is creamy, it's buttery, it's got a woody element, it's luxurious, it's rich. It takes you away, and it's just a beautiful accord. And then she went into the second accord, which was this one was here. Actually, I'm sorry, it was called the Magic Accord. And this was a black tea accord. And this is kind of like the Mad Hatter in the story of Alice in Wonderland, and it's kind of frenetic, and it's got a lot of black pepper. It's very spicy, but it's got this beautiful bergamot top, and just kind of like a Earl Grey tea effect. Really, really nice. Clary sage. It's got some ambrox seed, which gives it this like nutty carrot seed quality. So you had those. Then she talked about a third accord, which she described as, let's see, where's that one? Actually, so I messed up the last, So the next one was this accord that, okay, here we go, which was Mad. And this was like a cake accord. And so she really described it as this kind of like, it's got a Broom Absolute. So Broom is a flower she got in Italy. And by the way, most of the things she sourced from Italy. So for example, the orris butter was from Italy. And this was again as an homage to Masque Milano, who is obviously from Italy. So Broom Absolute is this flower, which is not traditionally used. It's not a sweet floral. It comes across as a yeasty, almost honey accord. It's very interesting. It's got yeast, it's got honey, it almost smells like beer that's been brewing. It's animalic. It's kind of got a chocolate effect, and this yeast really brings out this kind of like cake accord that she also has in here. And the cake accord is just, flower one, by the way, was this Broom Accord. Got everything mixed up here because all the vials, I have a lot of vials here. So this was that kind of flower Broom Accord, and then you had this cake accord, which was, ooh, boy, it smelled like almost like a cake. It was so delicious, like you just wanted to eat it. So when you combined it all together, they actually gave us a bunch of scent strips, and we were spraying them one by one during this event today. So one by one, we'd spray each of the cords, and then we'd smell them, right? And then we came down to the final product, which they labeled as Tea Party, because again, they didn't want to give the name away in case it would leak. And by the way, Alessandro Bruno stated at the very beginning of today's event or our video that no information was leaked. So even if someone out there were 100 people invited, if someone maybe did smell this, no information was leaked, so they were very happy about that. Congratulations, everybody, on that. That's hard to do nowadays, right? So this was, again, the final, and without further ado, the final product is called Lost Alice. Great name, and let me just tell you, I sprayed it right here, and I'm gonna spray it so you guys can see on my hand. Actually, it's drying down there, so I'm gonna spray it on this one. Oh. This is gonna be a hit. I love Masque Milano. This is, to me, what fragrance is about. This is what niche perfumery is about. This is what makes perfumery great, is hearing the story of how this was created by Mackenzie Reilly, this wonderful perfumer, and the story of going to Grasse, France, and Italy, and New York, and traveling around the world, and using just the resources of IFF. And a lot of this stuff here was mostly natural. She used a lot of naturals to create this gourmand fragrance. And it is, how do I describe this? It's you get this kind of tea bergamot opening, but you can smell this like carrot seed almost under there, and that cake accord. And it's bright. It's almost dizzying a little bit. It's kind of like, I feel like it's in motion with that black pepper. It's got a lot of black pepper, which again is a strong ode to Alice in Wonderland, which they talk about that a lot. It's just beautiful. Now, obviously, this is just the first impression, and I'm gonna have to let it dry down. And of course, I will do a full review later, but this is a first impression, and my first impression is I absolutely love this. I mean, I'm not saying it, I guess, I'm not saying this just because, oh, okay, yeah, this was a great event. I'm so happy that it's got a powdery effect. You see, my mind just keeps going in circles here because this is such a great gourmand fragrance. And what's interesting is Masque Milano is not known for gourmand fragrances. This is one of the first ones they've done. So it's, again, it's in line with this kind of Alice in Wonderland, just like, you know, frenetic, outside the box, but yet gourmand. And it's like taking common elements, but raising them to a new level, like common elements that you think maybe are just, you know, baseline fragrance elements, but raising them to this level, like smelling so expensive because they're such beautiful natural, like orris butter is one of the most expensive fragrance elements that you can add when it's natural and it's high end like they've used. So wonderful, 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 wonderful fragrance. And what else am I going to say? This is just absolutely beautiful. And let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you found this exciting, and I hope you did. This is JoelTheNose. Thank you for watching. I'll be back soon with another video. I'm just going to be all day now. So pumped because it was such a fun event. So highlight of my fragrance journey. Talk to you guys later.